Good morning to all of you. Myself, K. Rajasudan, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Rohini College of Engineering Technology, Nagarkoil. So now in this presentation, we are going to see about the subject Engineering Mechanics, Unit 2 Introduction. So it involves the topic moments and couples and their resolutions, and we can see the Varignon's theorem statements and its applications, and also we have some basics of force couple system, and finally we can see some basics of supports and reactions. Let's go to the slide. Initially, we can see the definition of moment and the difference between moment and a force. So first of all, we know that when a force acts on a body, it tries to displace the body from one place to another place. That is, it creates a linear motion of the body. But when a moment acts on a body, it tries to create rotational motion of the body. That is rotational effect. So that is the difference between a moment and a force. Then, how can you define a moment from the given basics? So actually, this diagram specifies one small definition of a moment. You can easily see that there is a bolt which is tightened with the help of a spanner, and the force is applied with the help of a blue arrowhead, and it is mentioned as a blue arrowhead in the left extreme end, and it is applied from a certain distance from the bolt, center of the bolt. So actually we are taking the perpendicular distance from the bolt like this, that is displayed by the brown arrowhead. So that is nothing but the moment can be defined as the force acting into the perpendicular distance from the line of action of the force into from the point of action. So actually the force is applied at the center of the bolt, but it is actually acting that much perpendicular distance away from the bolt. That is what gives the rotational effect of the bolt. Okay, that is what is called as moment. Now we can see the sign convention for moments. Basically, there are two types of moments. One is anti-clockwise moment, and the second one is clockwise moment. So from the given diagram, you can easily note that that is a fulcrum. So that is the fixed end, and you consider two cases. So first you consider the right side clockwise moment. So if you apply a force in the end of the beam, from that is the right hand side of the fulcrum, automatically that entire element will rotate. Where? Clockwise. So it is from the fulcrum, it is the effect will be if you apply the force downward force there, automatically you will get a clockwise moment, that is right side downwards. Okay, next, this is clockwise moment. It is always sign convention with the help of positive sign, and you come to the next one, anti-clockwise side, that is the left hand side. If you consider a force again in the same case, you consider the force is acting towards the left hand side of the fulcrum, that is downwards, and automatically you can sense that it is the anti-clockwise direction. So that is considered as a negative sign convention. So this is all about the sign convention of clockwise and anti-clockwise moments. So now we are going to write down the equation for moment. So as per the definition, the moment of the force is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Actually, the perpendicular distance mentions that from the line of action of the force acting to the point towards which it is acting. That is the perpendicular distance you should take. And so the moment equation can be written as moment of a force is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Actually, force for what is the unit of a moment? So unit of force is Newton, and the unit of distance is meter. Standard is meter. So automatically the moment unit becomes Newton meter. Okay, so that is what is the unit of moment, Newton meter. Okay. For solving the problems based on moments, we require a small theorem called as Varignon's theorem. So now we can see the statement of Varignon's theorem, and then we can move on to the next slide. Okay. So Varignon's theorem states that the summation of moments of n number of forces is equal to the resultant moment. That is nothing but the summation, that is the addition of individual moments acting on this body is equal to the resultant's moment of the around that body. That is the basic thing which is stated by the Varignon's theorem. Now we can see the vector approach of moment. So how can you write the vector equation for moment? Actually, the normal equation of moment is force into perpendicular distance. Actually, the vector equation of moment is m vector is equal to that small r displays shows the distance vector, r vector, cross product of that force vector. Actually, the moment equation can be the general equation for moment in vector approaches. Moment m vector is equal to distance vector r vector cross product f vector. This is the way we can tell the moment in vector approach. Okay, students, now we can see a problem based on moments. So I read out the problem first. 4 parallel forces of magnitude 10, 15, 20 and 35 Newton are acting as shown in the figure on a member AB of length 4 meters. Determine the magnitude and direction of the resultant force. Find the distance of the resultant from point A. So actually the element which is given AB, which consists of 3 segments. So in that, in the extreme left end is A, where a 10 Newton vertical force is acting upwards, and in the second segment 15 Newton force is acting downwards 1 meter away from point A, and in the third segment 20 Newton downward force is acting, that is 3 meters away from point A to the right hand side of point A, and to the extreme end B a 35 Newton force is acting upwards vertically 35 Newton of magnitude 35 Newtons. Okay, so this is all about the problem, and the solution is given as follows. First of all, we can find out the sigma h and sigma v and r. So since here all the forces given are all forces are vertical, there is no horizontal components. So sigma h is equal to 0. So automatically we can calculate sigma v. Sigma v means the first force is positive 10, the second force is negative. So 10 minus 15 minus 20, the third is also negative downward acting, and the third one is plus 35. So 10 minus 15 minus 20 plus 35. So automatically it becomes plus 10. So automatically here there is only the horizontal component becomes 0 and the vertical component is plus 10. So automatically the result becomes plus 10. So you know that basic formula r is equal to root of sigma h square plus sigma v square. In that formula if you substitute, you will get r is equal to plus 10. The next step is the location of resultant force. So in that we should first find out the summation of moment about point A, that is sigma ma. Sigma ma is nothing but the summation of moments about the element about point A. So actually the left extreme end is point A, so that we want to calculate the individual moments of all the forces about that point, that is sigma ma. So we can calculate sigma ma is equal to the first force 10 Newton is acting from point A, so it doesn't has any perpendicular distance, so 10 into 0 becomes 0. And the second force you can see that from point A it is acting right hand side downwards, so automatically it becomes clockwise, so 15 into 1. Then the second force is also the 20 Newton force is also acting right hand side to the point A, that is also clockwise, and 20 into it has distance 3 meters, so 20 into 3. And the third force is given is the fourth force is 35 Newton. It is acting right hand side of point A upwards, so it is anti-clockwise. It is having 4 meter distance, so minus 35 into 4, 15 into 1 plus 20 into 3 minus 35 into 4. So that is the equation we get, and if you solve it, you get the answer as sigma ma is equal to minus 65 Newton meter. Okay, so the summation of moment about point A becomes in a negative value, so automatically the system creates an anti-clockwise moment. Okay, anti-clockwise rotation. So then you know, according to Varignon's theorem, you know one statement: sigma ma is equal to r into d. Actually this is a linear system, and so all the forces are vertical, so automatically the distance d becomes the perpendicular distance of the resultant also, because the resultant is also having only vertical component. Okay, so automatically the resultant is having a vertical component only, so the d value becomes directly the perpendicular distance of the resultant with respect to that point. Okay, so we can equate directly sigma ma is equal to r into d. So already we know sigma ma value minus 65. So automatically you put that and is equal to, actually here that one thing you can do, so you can put, if that sigma ma value comes negative, automatically the resultant also becomes negative. So you put negative on both sides, the negative gets cancelled and both sides will get positive. So automatically 65 is equal to 10x. So automatically x is equal to x or d you can put. Automatically d becomes 6.5 meters. Actually 6.5 meters means it is the location of resultant r is extremely going to the right hand side of B, because the total entire distance is 4 meter. It is at 4 meters the point B will come, that is 35 Newton force will come, and above to the right hand side of the 35 Newton force 2.5 meters the R is standing. That is the location of R. That's all. Thank you.